Hi, I'm Mrs. S with Owltree Montessori, and today we're going to talk about how to teach your child to read, specifically with the Montessori beginning sounds games like I Spy and Knock Knock. For children to learn to read, they need to know all the letters and the sounds they make. A fun and easy way to do this is to show objects or pictures that begin with the letter sounds you want to teach. For example, I want to teach my child the letters A and P. So I have gathered some objects that begin with the letter sounds A and P. I can use pictures, but objects make a deeper impression with young children, especially for that first introduction. If I didn't have objects, I could use pictures, but I am going to use these pictures as extension activities for my students and really use these objects for that big first impression. The spelling of the words represented by these objects doesn't matter because we are focused on the beginning sounds of the words they represent. The two goals we have in this lesson are to 1. Teach the letter sounds that the words begin with, and 2. Teach the phonemic awareness skill that words are made up of sound parts. In this lesson, we will teach our children how to isolate and identify the beginning sounds in words. We will start with a traditional Montessori game called I Spy. In this game, I will lay out the objects that I've gathered that start with either A or P, and using the Montessori 3-period lesson, I will first introduce these objects with their names and help the child focus on that initial beginning sound. Oh, look at this object. This is an alligator. What sound do you hear at the beginning of the word A? Alligator. That's right, A. Alligator starts with the sound A. Oh, do you know what this is? This is an axe. What sound do you hear at the beginning of the word axe? A. Do you know what kind of a bear this is? This is a panda. What sound do you hear at the beginning of the word panda? That's right, I hear at the beginning of panda. Oh, this is a pumpkin. What sound do you hear at the beginning of the word pumpkin? Yeah, I hear that too. Pumpkin. This is a pan. What sound do you hear at the beginning of the word pan? Yeah, that's another p at the beginning. Oh, do you like apples? I like apples. Now this is a pretend apple, so we can't eat it. What sound do you hear at the beginning of a? Apple. Oh, I hear that. Now let's play a game. I'm going to spy something that begins with A or P, and I want you to find it. I spy something that begins with A. Can you find something that begins with A? Oh, the axe, or they will offer any other object. I spy something that begins with P. What can you find that begins with P? And they might indicate pumpkin, and they'll say that sound. Have them say the beginning sounds A or P, whatever the one they're identifying. What sound does pumpkin begin with? What do you hear at the beginning of the word axe? What sound do you hear at the beginning of pan? What sound do you hear at the beginning of alligator? Next, we can introduce the letter symbols that match the beginning sounds we want to teach. You can give this lesson in isolation, like I'm going to show you here, or you can include it with the I Spy game from the phonemic awareness I just showed you. I'm going to use the Montessori 3-period lesson structure again. I'm going to give the name of the letter and the sound that it makes while tracing the tactile letter with 2 fingers. These 2 fingers are used in the pencil grip, and that is why we use them to trace the letters. The Montessori Sandpaper Letters, or any tactile letters, teach the sound symbol correlation and the proper formation of the letters in a multi-sensory way. The tactile movement creates muscle memory, which improves memory recall and retention. Tactile letters create the connection between the abstract symbol with its physical shape and the phonemic sound. This helps children learn the letter sounds and symbols and proper formation in one fun lesson. We will give the letter name, but our focus is on teaching the sound that the letter makes. Children need to know the sound a letter makes to read. Many letter names, when pronounced, contain the sound they make, but many do not. For example, the name of the letter P has its sound in it. P, P. The name of the letter A makes its long sound, but it does not make its short vowel sound. A. Children can know all the names of the letters in the alphabet and still not be able to read. They must know the sound each letter makes to read. As a note, we introduce the lowercase letters to children first because these are the most common letters seen in children's reading books. They may see a capital letter at the beginning of a sentence or for someone's name, but most of the letters they will need to sound out and read in their early reader books are going to be the lowercase letters. So we have 3 goals for this lesson. We will teach the letter symbol and sound and the proper formation for writing the letter. In this way, this lesson makes the connection between the reading and writing pieces for early literacy. This is the letter A. It says A, A, A. Now you try, and I will have each student trace the letter, saying its name, A, A. And if they need your help, you can just take hold of their fingers and help them trace in the proper formation. Can you show me the letter that says A? Yes, letter A says A. This is the letter P. It says P, P, P. Now you try. And they'll trace and say the sound P. Can you show me the letter that says P? Yes. Can you show me the letter that says A? Can you give me the letter that says A? Thank you. Can you give me the letter that makes the sound P? Thank you. Will you move the letter A to the top? Will you move the letter P to the bottom? Thank you. Will you move the letter P to the middle? Please move the letter A to the middle. Now we're going to play a game. I'm going to turn these cards upside down. We're going to knock on the back and we'll say, who's there? And when we turn the letter over, I want you to tell me what sound the letter makes. Knock, knock. Who's there? Oh, what sound does this letter make? Ah. Knock, knock. Who's there? What sound does this letter make? Very good. Let's try again. I'm going to mix them up and we'll continue. Everyone will get a turn. What is the sound this letter makes? As a follow-up extension activity, you can show children how they can trace the sandpaper letter and then trace the letter freehand into a sensory writing tray. This would be a tray that's filled with rice or sand, and then they can easily shake it and it's ready for the next letter. If you feel like your child is ready for pencil and paper to create another extension from here, you can give them small pieces of unlined paper. Lined paper requires a whole nother lesson. So you can give them a unlined piece of paper and a pencil or a marker, any other kind of writing implement that they could use to start using that pencil grip and writing onto an unlined piece of paper. The next lesson will be to combine the phonemic awareness sound objects with the tactile letter symbols. We isolated and identified the beginning sounds for the letters A and P using the objects and the I Spy game in the first lesson. We correlated the letter sound and symbol with the knock knock game in the second lesson. Your children have probably been playing the games with their friends and tracing the letters into rice and sand, and now we're going to put these two together in a review lesson. Alternatively, instead of separating out the beginning sound I spy game and the letter symbol correlation knock knock game, you can give your child this combined lesson straight away. Research supports introducing children to the letter sounds and symbols together as the most effective way to teach reading. It will depend on the readiness of your child. Some children don't have the attention span to go beyond these sound objects, teaching phonemic awareness and isolating those beginning sounds. And so you can separate out the beginning sounds and the letter sound symbol correlation. However, for some children, they are ready, they're having fun, they have the attention span to continue on with identifying the sounds and the letter symbols and putting them all together. Know that those are the two options for this lesson. So we're going to start either with review by bringing everything together, or as a first introduction of these two letters using the objects and the sandpaper letters. We're going to work with two letters today. I have some objects that we're going to listen to what sound we hear at the beginning. This is an apple. What sound do you hear at the beginning of the word ah? Apple. Oh yes, ah. What sound do you hear at the beginning of the word pumpkin? Yeah, and then we'll continue on until we have identified all the sounds at the beginning of these words. And then I'll say, okay, I spy something that begins with ah. Can you show me an object that begins with ah? And they'll show an object. I spy an object that begins with the sound p, or the letter sound p. Panda. Nice. Then we'll either introduce or review these letters here. We'll say, this is letter A, and it says ah. Ah. Would you trace the letter ah? This is the letter P, and it says p. Will you trace the letter P that says p? Show me p. Show me the letter that says ah. Now let's play a game. It's knock knock. Who's there? What does this letter say? P. Knock knock. What does this letter say? Ah. Very good. Now let's match our objects, the sound that we hear at the beginning of our objects, with the letter that makes its sound. Let's see. What do we have? P, p, pan. Ah, that goes with p, p. Ah, ah. So that goes with letter A. It says ah. And we continue until all of the objects have been matched with their symbols. And then this can be a follow-up work that they do on the shelf. They can go and get the sandpaper letters and the objects and match them together. An extension activity would be the Pink Series beginning sound cards. So I have made these two letter symbols with some pictures that begin with the sounds: popcorn, parrot, picnic, penguin, and pizza. And then we have astronaut, axe, apple, ant, and alligator. And this can be another extension activity that they can do to practice matching a letter symbol with its sound. The next two letters to introduce as part of set one are S and T. I won't walk through the lessons again in this video because they are the same as what we did for A and P, but I will remind you of the options. You can give the phonemic awareness lesson of isolating and identifying the beginning sounds with objects and the I Spy game. Next, you can give the phonics lesson by introducing the letter's symbol with its sound using the sandpaper or tactile letters and the knock-knock game. And finally, you can review by connecting both the phonemic awareness and phonics using the objects and sandpaper letters and both the I Spy and knock-knock games. Alternatively, you can introduce the letters and the sounds for S and T with both in one introductory lesson. One last alternative for presenting these letters is to introduce all four letters, A, P, S, and T, during one lesson. When introducing all four letters, you have the option of breaking them down into phonemic awareness with the I Spy game using only the objects, followed by the letter symbols and sounds with the knock-knock game and only the tactile letters, and then combining them all together as we see here, or you can introduce all 4 letters with both games and teach phonemic awareness and phonics in one lesson. I want to wrap up by highlighting these Pink Series beginning sound cards. They come with the letter symbol and the pictures that your child can practice matching the letter symbol with the sound. It comes in a set of 4 letters, A, P, S, T, and it is found on our Owltree Montessori Teachers Pay Teachers store. You can visit and download the entire set. It includes ending sounds, it includes the consonant, vowel, consonant words that you can use with the movable alphabet. It includes a printable movable alphabet, as well as instructions for the I Spy game and the Knock Knock game. Next, we will dive into teaching the ending sounds using these letters. So join us for our next video. I can't wait to see you there.